And welcome to another episode of That's My Sports. I am your host today again, the host with the most, Aaron Cass. I'm battling a little sinus infection, so if I sound a little weird, I apologize. We were supposed to have the Shay and Aaron show this weekend, but it's a little bit of scheduling conflict, so it's just going to be me today, and obviously Hollywood Ray's not here because he's teaching the kids. He actually has a real job, I know, right? So we have a couple things going on today. Definitely some breaking news going on. I know people have probably seen it, but we just saw Derek Carr, going over to the New Orleans Saints. And I'm going to dive into that real quick. But first, just want to let everybody know that we are on Apple, Spotify, anything you can listen to for your podcasting needs. And also, we just started a YouTube page. It is That's My Sports. If you want to subscribe, we have 2 videos up there already. So going forward, our videos will be up there. Hopefully, we can do some live stuff, and hopefully, we can get a Twitch going. But just want to let everybody know that. And also, we have our Instagram, which is TMS Podcast. I'm sorry. And also, our Twitter is _TMS Podcast. And we also have a TikTok, which is That's My Sports. So going back to the Derek Carr situation, he signed a 4-year deal with the New Orleans Saints. I really don't understand this move, to be honest, because they don't have any cap, and we're not sure if they're going to be able to pay Michael Thomas. Like, yes, you have Chris Olave, who pretty much dominated his rookie year at the receiver position. I mean, I know Garrett Wilson won the Rookie of the Year for it, but I'm pretty sure Chris Olave could have won that too. And we're not sure what's going on with Alvin Kamara. He pleaded not guilty to what happened last year in Vegas with him and his buddies, but that's still up in the air. So I'm not really sure where Derek Carr's Christian values are going to help in the city of New Orleans or New Orleans. You say either which way, but that's definitely an interesting move right there off the gate. Also, breaking news. Well, I guess it's breaking, but it had to have happened. Tennessee running back, Derrick Henry is being shot by Tennessee Titans. Not coming as a surprise. I'm not shocked. They really need value. They're pretty much starting over. Ryan Tannehill is going to be gone. They already cut Bud Dupree, saving them $17 million. So they're just going to have to up and just rebuild. That's the only way. You're going to get some value for Derrick Henry. He still has pretty good legs. He only, I think it was the last 2 years he's been hurt with his foot. But other than that, I mean, he's still a pretty good running back. They can get some value for him, maybe a first, maybe a couple seconds. Doesn't matter. You have to get as much draft picks as you can. I understand there's a lot of teams out there that need running backs. Where is Derrick Henry going to go? I do not know. I'm really not sure who's going to trade for Derrick Henry when they can just go into the draft and draft players, especially running backs. We all know by at least age 28, 29, running backs are scarcely done. And I'm not really sure where Derrick Henry is going to go. If I had to guess, though, I would have to say, and this could be a long shot, the Miami Dolphins. Think about it. Who is their best running back right now on the team? Jeff Wilson Jr.? Yeah, exactly. If that's your best running back, I'm pretty sure they have draft picks to get rid of. The offense is already explosive. Maybe Lamar Jackson will go down there if Derrick Henry is the running back. You put in Derrick Henry at running back. Their offensive line is not really that bad. They signed Terron Armstead last year. Pretty solid. It wasn't that, it wasn't like all pro, like Hall of Fame level, but got the job done, did what he needed to do. And I mean, that could be a good fit. Mike McDaniel knows what he's doing on offense. We've seen it with Tyreek Hill, Jalen Waddle. Mike Gesicki was there at the time. I don't think he's going to be there this year. I actually feel like he's going to go to like the Giants or the Panthers or something. But think about that. That's a pretty good offense. And I'm pretty sure the Dolphins want to win now. They haven't won a playoff game in years. I'm pretty sure the last playoff game they won was probably like 2000-ish, like early 2000s. Also, too, this could be going on. I've seen it. It's not real. I don't know if it's happening. Cowboys running back Zeke Elliott. It looks like the Cowboys are getting tired of him. And because they signed him to that big contract a few years ago, he's really been pretty sluggish. Let's be real. He hasn't done anything. He's not contributing that much on offense. But you know who has been contributing? Tony Pollard. So the Cowboys right now, about 25 minutes ago, just placed Tony Pollard on a franchise tag. It's $10 million. Not too bad. Tony Pollard's a great running back and catch the ball. Super speedy. I would know. I face him twice a year with the Giants. Great addition. Going out like that. Great. Also news, which we already kind of knew because if it didn't happen, you'd have $60 million in the locker room. Just right now, Saints are most likely to cut Jameis Winston, famous Jameis. It makes sense. You're not cutting Taysom Hill because they can use him as tight end, running back, fullback, quarterback. So they're not going to get rid of their Swiss Army knife. Unfortunately, Jameis Winston's end in New Orleans is over. I honestly didn't think he was that bad in New Orleans. I'm not going to lie. I'm pretty sure if he didn't get hurt with his knee 2 years ago because he was balling out, and then last year because he had back spasms, so that's why I went with the Red River Rifle and Mr. Andy Dalton. I call him Gingy for short. I actually think he might be going to the Jets then. Jets need a quarterback, way better than Zach Wilson. Pretty sure he can go in as a starter there. He's he's a veteran, knows what he's doing under Drew Brees. Again, he wasn't bad. He's not the greatest quarterback. He's not Aaron Rodgers, but he's there, man. He need a quarterback, and he's way better than Zach Wilson. I don't think Aaron Rodgers is going to go to the Jets because I believe it's like a 58 mil cap or something like that. That like teams now need Aaron Rodgers. They like the Packers need to like consume half of it, or there's some weird clause that they need for teams to go after Aaron Rodgers. So I'm not even going to bother with that one. If I'm the Jets, just go get famous Jameis. You can get him on cheap. The defense is there, man. You need to go and get to the playoffs. Last time Jets won the playoffs, they beat the New England Patriots 2010. That was the last time. They need to do something. All right, it's been years. The last quarterback who got close was Ryan Fitzmagic, and he lost to the Buffalo Bills last game of the season. Talking about, though, we got a cryptic text here, or should I say Instagram post. Bucks linebacker Devin White, and he put up, God isn't asking you to figure it out. He's asking you to trust that he already has. And then he put a 4-year went by fast. Does this mean star linebacker Devin White might possibly get traded or ask for a release? Because remember, he got drafted in the same year as Daniel Jones. And I'm pretty sure they picked up his 5th-year option. But maybe there's something that we don't know. Maybe Bruce Arians can kind of get some value because let's think about it. They don't have a quarterback. The offense right now is in shambles. Leonard Fournette got cut, I believe, last week around the combine time. So Jason Licht talked about that was a mutual agreement, which is fine. Again, Leonard Fournette cut. So I don't know. Maybe the Bucks know that they have some draft capital, and maybe that they know with Devin White they can trade off. Because I'm telling you, this guy's a nasty. I wish the Giants got him. It wasn't going to happen, obviously, with Bruce Arians, and they had, I believe, they were a pick above us. Then we selected Daniel Jones. Yeah, something like that. So, I mean, that's pretty good for Devin White. Maybe he can get out of there, go back to the playoffs. He already has a Super Bowl ring, so I don't have to worry too much. Also, to the LA Rams are creating $15.5 million cap space by cutting Leonard Floyd. Don't know when that's going to be, though, because I think it's post June 1st cut to get that 15.5. I also don't know if he has dead cap mill against them. And also Vikings linebacker Eric Kendricks is cut as well. There's a lot going on in the NFL right now. That's why I had to get an episode out, because this is just freaking crazy what's going on right now. And I also wanted to say, too, that Baker Mayfield, he's getting consideration from the Rams, obviously, because he played there for those 6 games or whatever of the season. But also San Francisco 49ers are looking at Baker Mayfield. I mean, Trey Lance is better than Baker Mayfield. I don't care if Trey Lance has been hurt every time he's been on the field. He's better than Baker Mayfield. I'm going to put that out there. I'm going to skip A-list this and book it. With one leg, Trey Lance is better than Baker Mayfield. There, I said it. I'm not taking that back. I'm not sorry for it. It is what it is. That's what's going down. So with that said, that's a little nuts. And also, we're just going to transition real quick because I don't think there's any more NFL news going on that I know of. If it does happen, I will break it right here on the episode, which will be coming out later on today. It is a Monday, March 6th. So we're going to transition a little bit into the NBA world. And no, I'm not going to talk about how the Knicks have an 8-game winning streak right now and just beat the Boston Celtics twice in the same week. Yeah. You heard me, Celtics fans. The New York Knickerbockers defeated you guys twice in a week with your Jason Tatum MVP caliber kind of guy and your Jaylen Brown of the world. New York Knicks with Emmanuel Quickley, Julius Randle, and RJ Barrett destroyed you guys twice. I mean, granted, double overtime. Don't understand, though, Jason Tatum's your best player. And I get it. Al Horford sank that 3, I believe, in the fourth quarter. Let's see. I want to say it was like 2 minutes left in the game, maybe a minute left. I could be wrong on that. Don't quote me on it. Granted, he made that shot, that 3 right there to tie it. If you're the best player on the team and you're an MVP type caliber type player, why wouldn't you go after that? Why wouldn't you try to make the shot? Seriously. If Jason Tatum's as great as they say he is, and to quote Rose Gold Dirty, which we had him on over the summertime, great episode, by the way, check that out. He's just a homeless man's Paul George. You know, if that's what we're saying, I kind of think that I'll get slack for it from Celtics fans. It's fine. Even in the NBA world, I still think in a world in the NBA, Jason Tatum, he's a good player. He's a great player. He's a guy you want to start your franchise with. MVP though, that's tough, man. And I'm a guy who's a Rockets fan who's seen James Harden get snubbed at least 2-3 times when it was the Steph Curry reign and the LeBron reign for MVPs. So I know when there's a good shooter out there. And Jason Tatum should have made that shot to pretty much send New York packing because they were at TD Garden last night. But that's not what we're going to talk about. That was just a jab at Celtics fans. I'm a little salty. My Houston Rockets only have 15 wins this year, and I don't know what we're doing. But I wanted to get on the biggest story of the weekend. We have, to quote B Rabbit, Clarence. And Clarence lives at home with both of his parents. And no, there's no NBA player named Clarence, but there is a guy who's acting like a Clarence from 8 Mile, if no one's ever seen that movie. If you haven't, you're living under a rock. We're talking about Ja Morant. So, Ja Morant, I call him the walking king because every time he has the basketball, 90% of the time he walks with it, and the refs don't want to say anything. So the walking king apparently if this is what I'm just hearing, brought a gun onto the plane, went to a nightclub, and in the video, it looks like he flashes the gun. Now, he's having a history ever since the altercation with Shannon Sharp that he's pretty much like a fake thug. And that's why I use the name Clarence, because in 8 Mile, Clarence was a fake thug who went to a private school, and Ja Morant also went to a private school before he went to Murray State. And it's just crazy that Ja Morant wants to act so thuggish when you don't need to. You signed a big contract extension. You're the face of the Memphis Grizzlies. And then you want to pull this shit? I don't understand, man. Listen, if I'm making that much money, I'm not like bringing a gun to a nightclub, and I'm not flashing on Instagram Live so people can see it, because 100% of the time, 10 times out of 10, somebody's going to screenshot that and put up on Instagram or Facebook or anything. So why would you do it? Like, bro, like, you don't have to be a thug. You don't have to be a fake thug. Just be a hooper, man. Be a basketball player. And it's just funny that like he's like, there's another story where he's like a mall security guard, like threatened his mom or just something to his mom, and he went like 8 deep to go after a mall security guard. And I believe he had a gun at that time too. And it's like, dude, what are you doing? Like, I'm pretty sure your mom can handle herself. And I'm like, where is your dad? I'm pretty sure your dad can handle it too. Like, don't need 8 deep, go after a mall security guard. I'm telling you, man, like Shannon Sharp, Uncle Shay Shay said it perfectly. Like, if you go watch that Undisputed Hot Reel take, you don't have to be a fake thug, bro. Like, that's not who you are. Just hoop. I don't understand. It's crazy. There's also an accusation where he flashed a gun beat up like two teenagers or something like that, or one teenager. I could get that story wrong. It's just a stupid ass story. I can't believe that he would do that, and you're making mad money. But that's just me. So yeah, I've been calling Clarence on That's My Sports for certain posts and all that. So if no one knows what Clarence is, he's in 8 Mile. Go check it out. Great movie. It's a funny movie. Great movie. So I just think that's funny. And we'll stick with the NBA a little bit, as I talked about the Celtics getting mollywopped, even though they went double overtime against the Knicks, lost to them twice in the same week. They are 8-1 in comeback games. Back-to-back games, not comebacks. So we'll see if they win the next game, which I believe is the Portland Trailblazers, if I'm correct on that. And I'm sorry. They play the Cavaliers at Cavaliers. So that's another tough one, because that was actually a good matchup when the Cavaliers came to Boston. So that's a good one. But I'm going to talk a little bit AD real quick, just because this guy's been on a tear since LeBron's been hurt. And I'm a little surprised on it, because I'm surprised he hasn't gotten hurt, because usually that's his MO, as I call him. He's made out of glass from past episodes, but I'll probably still say in the future. So I believe the last 5 games, I'm just going to pull it up real quick. The last 4 games, 30-15, 28-19, 38-5, 39-8. The biggest one he had was the 5-block game against Memphis, but they lost it. Whatever. It is what it is. And he's been on a tear, man. LeBron James is hurt. He's becoming the alpha. I said it. You can go all the way to our beginning episodes when we were talking about the NBA bubble finals between the Heat and the Lakers. When he's on the court and he's healthy, he's the best Laker. I don't care that LeBron James is there. Anthony Davis is your best player on the court. I'll say it till the cows come home. You can argue with me about it. But if this dude's healthy, like 100% healthy, which he hasn't really been for most of his career, if not all, this dude's a freaking monster. All right, so I just wanted to put it out there that he's on a monster streak. Lakers are kind of doing their thing. They're like 2-2 in those last 4. They just beat Steph Curry's Warriors last night, so that's interesting. And also, what's interesting, Phoenix Suns 3-0 with Kevin Durant. Dude's been balling out with Devin Booker. Like, they're just going ham with each other. It's pretty cool. KD had 37 last night, and then during his debut with Suns against the Hornets, he went 23-2-6, and then 26-9 against Chi-Town. So the dude's been balling out with Devin Booker. They're 3-0. And also, I wanted to clarify, and I'm going to get into this. Remember, I'm a Houston Rockets fan, so I can say this about this player. This guy's a Hall of Famer. They were on a little 5-game skid since they acquired him. He's not the only man on the court. And if y'all know who I'm talking about Russell Westbrook. All right. He joined up on the Clippers. I think that's a great destination for him. He gets playing time. He's in the rotation. He's good when either Kawhi Leonard needs a break, which is pretty much a lot now, which is fine. He's your best player when he's on the court. Kawhi Leonard showed it last night, 34-10. Like, you got to preserve him, especially for the playoffs. Get it. Cool. Russell Westbrook's not the only guy on the court when they're on that 5-game losing streak. Sure, he's the field general because he's the point guard, but he's not the reason why they're losing. Okay? And people need to step up. Plumlee's been stepping up a little bit. Eric Gordon, my man. EG in his second stint with the Clips. Yes, he's been stepping up. He's doing a little bit better now last few games. Paul George has been doing pretty good. And it's funny with Paul George, too, if you haven't checked it out. Old Man the 3, HJ Reddick's podcast, he was saying that I didn't get to really watch the clip or whatever, but he's pretty much saying that he knows he can't be the number 1 option anymore, which is why he teamed up with Kawhi Leonard. That's a pretty good honest take. If you think about it, though, he pretty much almost made it to the Western Conference Finals. I think did he, though? This is what has the science effect, so I'm all blanky on my stuff. I believe they made the Western Conference Finals either last year or 2 years ago. You could definitely quote me on that without Kawhi Leonard. So Paul George can get it done, but I understand what he's trying to say, because with Kawhi Leonard, he's a little bit better, actually, but Paul George, I'm going to give you your roses on that one. But I just want to go back to Russell Westbrook. He's a Hall of Famer. He's doing what he needs to do. It's not his fault that they're on a 5-game skid. I'll give you his stat lines. 17, 14. Sure, he had the 7 turnovers in his first game with the clips. That's fine. Then he went 17, 4, and 5, 14, 10, 7. Almost had a triple dub right there against the Minnesota Timberwolves. Then he went 8, 8, and 6. And he shot terrible against Golden State, which is fine. Then he went 27, 10, 2. And then last night he went 9, 6, and 5. So he knows his role, that he's not trying to be the captain. He's just there as the point guard. So I don't know why people say, oh, well, Russ, like, they're losing. Like, no. I mean, turnovers are a little high, but that's not new. Russell Westbrook, he always does it with turnovers. Oh, he can't shoot threes? Yeah, we know that. I see him in Houston. They did that in the bubble against LeBron James' Lakers. They let him take the threes, and he didn't make them. That's not what Russ does. He doesn't shoot threes like that. He facilitates, does what he needs to do, gets the triple dubs. I mean, it's as simple as that. He knows what he's doing. He's led teams to the playoffs by himself as the number one option. We've seen it. We've seen him get gassed with it, but that's not the point I'm trying to say. The point that I'm trying to say is it's not all Russ's fault. Ty Lue knows what he's doing. I just saw a post in Snow Puff. No, it's a sports page on Facebook. Me and Rashawn are in. And someone's trying to say that, because they barely beat the Grizzlies without Ja Morant, or I should ask that Clarence, that they're not going to make it to the final, blah, blah, blah. Like, this team's not bad, this Clippers team. If Kawhi Leonard stays healthy, does his game management during the season, but is there every game in the playoffs, this team can make it to the finals, especially with Russ as the third option. True, you could even say that Marcus Morris is the third option, which is kind of really pushing it. But nonetheless, I just want to put down the Russ Westbrook because I can say whatever I want because That's My Sports. So going into over the weekend as well, I'm a UFC guy, so I'm going to talk a little bit about the Jones Gane fight, and I'm just going to say that John Jones is nasty. And you can look, if you have ESPN Plus, you can watch his fights. He's just fucking nasty. The fact that he hasn't been in a UFC match, I think it's been like 2 or 3 years, comes in, gets the title belt from Gane. If you don't remember, Gane got the belt. I'm just trying to remember. I can't even think right now. My head is like throbbing right now. But it was Gane got the belt. I believe it was from Ngannou. But I'm going to check it up right now, but I'm pretty sure it was Ngannou. Because that one was like, look up his profile because I gotta get this right for you guys. Fight history. Yeah, he lost. So he lost to Ngannou. Oh, he got the belt from Derek Lewis. I'm sorry, I apologize. He got the belt from Derek Lewis, lost to Ngannou, and then I believe Ngannou lost because I believe he doesn't have his belt. No, he still has his belt. How does he have a belt? Whatever. But John Jones coming back, 27-1. I mean, the dude won in the first round, and I mean, Cyril Gane or Gain, however you want to say it. I'll always say it wrong. He's like 11-2. He's just like an average fighter. Like he took Ngannou the last time they fought, it was like a few matches ago, and took him to the 5th round, but obviously Francis Ngannou won anyways. But John Jones, man, I mean, if you watch any of his fights, he knows what he's doing. He knows how to orchestrate, play in the octagon, and that's why he's one of the GOATs. I mean, yeah, he took steroids, did what he needed to do to win those belts, and got him stripped. I'm not condoning steroids. You know how I feel about steroids. You can ask anybody how I feel about it. It's just crazy that happened. And also, I didn't think this was going to happen. I wish I watched it, but I work at those those hours, so I couldn't watch this fight. But the Valentina Shevchenko fight, I saw that on Instagram, and goddamn, rear naked choke. I did not expect her to lose like that to Grasso, but that, I'll give it up to Alexa Grasso, man. Like, that was a pretty good fight. And I believe Grasso used a move on Shevchenko that Shevchenko's used before in the past. So that's why I made it even nastier. But going to the next fight, which I believe is next week, this is the Peter Yan fight. And I'm pretty excited to see that because this dude, it's been like the last like 3 fights where this dude's been getting robbed. And if you're a UFC fan, you know exactly what I'm talking about. It all started with the Sterling fight. And it was a disqualification because Sterling kind of like went down. And I think he was getting up, where he was like on one knee, and Peter Yan like kicks him right in the face. And he got disqualified for it. You really can't do that, which is fine. And then he beat Corey Sandhagen as just Peter Yan. Peter Yan won against Corey Sandhagen, and then he lost again to Sterling, which is another bullshit call. Like, it said it was a split decision, but Peter Yan pretty much won that one. And then the Sugar Shane Sean O'Malley was fucking stupid. Again, like the Sean O'Malley, they want him to be kind of the poster boy for the UFC. Like, he's 16-1 right now, and he hasn't really fought anybody that's like good. So, I mean, I kind of want Peter Yan to beat, Jesus Christ, I can't even say this dude's name. I know exactly who it is too. Divalishvili, and I think he can do it too, because I believe this dude's last few fights. I mean, he hasn't lost since like 2018 to Ricky Simon, and he's pretty much unanimous on all of them. He went up against, like, he beat up on Cody Stamann, and he beat up on well, actually he KO'd, not even unanimous, but he KO'd Marlon Moraes. That was a pretty good fight if you want to check that out. But yeah, I got pretty much Peter Yan. That one's gonna be fucking nice. It's the only like really good fight though of that, except for I'll give it's on the main card. I'll give it to Saad Nurmagomedov, Russian. He's that one should be a good fight because he's 17-2 and going up against. Who you go up against? Oh, Jonathan Martinez. Yeah, that should be a good fight too if you want to check that one out. That one's on the main card, but I don't think it's a pay-per-view, so you should be able to watch it. It's at 6:00, so you should be able to watch it pretty good on Saturday. Excuse me. But yeah, those are gonna be some pretty good UFC fights. Just wanted to talk about the John Jones one, how he's pretty much like the GOAT in his weight class. I mean, you could fight me out. I mean, my favorite guy is Islam Makhachev, and that one, I mean, Islam shouldn't have won the last fight, but it was pretty close. But I mean, I understand when they gave it to him, but that one he was a little off on that one, so I'll give him that one. And breaking news in the soccer world. Use the ESPN right there. Neymar out for the rest of the season with ankle injury, ruled out for the rest of the season with the Brazil International, and set to undergo surgery to repair ankle ligaments. He plays for Paris Saint-Germain when he's not playing for Brazil. That's kind of a big loss for them. I mean, that's also Mbappe, and I believe Messi's team as well. So that's kind of, I would say it's a big hit, but Shay knows way better than me when it comes to the soccer world. So I'm just going to see who's on the squad. See if I was right on that, if anything happened. Yeah, Mbappe. Yeah, I mean, that's a pretty big hit. So in the soccer world, that's what's going down for Paris Saint-Germain. Just want to let everybody know as well, if you want to check out the Qatar episode, which is about the World Cup with me and Shay doing that show. He put me on a Dortmund, the German league, and since I've been a Dortmund fan, the German league, they have not lost. I'm just going to put that out there. I guess I'm a good luck charm. And I'm just going to see if anything crazy is going on before we end this. This is going to be another short one. Basketball world, I'm going to talk about the little NCAA real quick. Houston Cougars, top of the poll, won their thing. Kelvin Sampson, we all know what happened with him in Indiana. We had that scandal. Came over to the Houston Rockets as an assistant coach. He was with those runs where James Harden was leading them to the Warriors, in the Western Conference Finals and all that. So he was on that squad and moved over to the Houston Cougars. Great record for the Houston Cougars. I believe they're 26-2 or 29-2. I'm sorry. I apologize for that. 29-2. So just want to give a shout out to Kelvin Sampson because he was the ex-Rockets assistant coach. And I don't think there's anything else going on in this. I'm just going to do one more double check before we go. But as I'm looking, also, just want to let people know, Again, we are on every major streaming platform for your podcast needs: Spotify, Apple, Pandora. If you have a Pandora account, Google, Amazon, you name it, we're probably on it. We also have a YouTube page. That's My Sports. Subscribe. We're going to start putting future videos out there, short reels, however you want. We're on TikTok. That's My Sports. Instagram, TMS Podcast. Twitter, aka Twitter _TMS Podcast. And I think that's going to be it for the day. This is on Monday, March 6th. I am your host with the most, Aaron Cass. Any questions you want to ask us, feel free to put it on any of our pages I just described, even on our YouTube page. When we put up videos, just let us know. Also, too, we will try to get regular fans of ours on here for sports debates, all that, just in case one of us can't make it, and just for the fun of it. I mean, I know there's a lot of people out there that have opinions, but we do have requirements. You need to be good with a mic, as I am right now, or even how the rest of us are, and even past guests. And also, this is not like barbershop talk, so you need to actually come prepared for what you're trying to do with us in the sports related world. Just wanted to put that out there. We're trying to get a few interviews lined up for you guys. Definitely want to do a shout out, see if they can come back on again. Brandon Sherrod, who just went to the Israel League for overseas basketball. I wish he's actually our top 5 when it comes to downloads, so I wish he could come back on. Also, his sister Chelsea Sherrod, check her out. She's on SNY, killing it. Both Stratford, Connecticut / Bridgeport, Connecticut alums. Get it done. They're doing great out there. We've had Rose Gold Dirty on 3 times. He's been a blast every time he's been on. We just had Ray Lynn on last episode. Amazing, great content. It's a long one, but you trust me, you're going to want to listen to the whole hour and 44 minutes. That dude knows what he's talking about. He usually also has shows he was telling us after on Mondays, which is today. So hopefully when you listen to this, you can watch it. If not, it's usually a replay on the Sports Reporter Without Pay. He does a ball don't lie every Monday. He usually puts up what times, about like an hour or so that he does it. Dude knows what he's talking about. I love him just because he puts Hollywood Ray in his place, and that's pretty funny because his name is Ray. So this is it for That's My Sports. I am your host with the most, Aaron Cass, and as always, Black people matter.